book written in English and Japanese, and it includes the famous fairy tales. Let's get started. 長靴を履いた猫。Once upon a time, an old miller died, and his possessions were divided among his 3 sons. The eldest son got the mill, and the second son got the donkey. Unfortunately, the youngest son was left with nothing but the miller's cat. Feeling disappointed, the youngest son thought about getting rid of the cat. However, the cat was clever and tried to bargain with his new master. "Give me a bag and a pair of boots," the cat said, "and I will make you very rich." The cat got his wish, pulling on his new boots and throwing the bag over his shoulder. He went to a field where many rabbits lived. He caught some and presented them to the king as a gift from his master. Puss was not finished. He met the ugly and started to flatter him. "Such a powerful ugly must have many talents," the cat said. "I bet you can turn yourself into anything, even a mouse." To show the cat his skill, the ogre turned himself into a mouse. Puss then jumped on the mouse and ate it. At last, Puss claimed the ogre's land and castle for his master. When the king arrived, he was impressed by the boy's wealth that he asked Puss's master to marry his daughter, the princess. Thus, the youngest son of a poor miller became a prince, thanks to the help of one cool cat. Puss is Puss. 次はヘンゼルとグレーテルを読んでいきたいと思います。Once upon a time, a poor woodcutter lived in a small house in the woods. He had 2 children, Hansel and Gretel. He loved his son and daughter, but his second wife was mean to them. "There is not enough food," the wife said. "We have to get rid of the children." He was sad, but he couldn't stand up to her. The woodcutter gave the children some bread and took them far in the woods. He left them alone. Hansel had made a trail of bread crumbs from there. Home, however, Buzz ate the crumbs. They were lost. Hansel and Gretel stayed in the woods overnight. The next day, they looked for a way home. They came upon a strange house made of candy. They are very hungry, so they broke off pieces of the house and ate them. Suddenly, the front door opened. An old woman looked out. "Come in," she said. "I have more candy for you." Actually, the old woman was an evil witch. She locked Hansel in a cage and forced Gretel to do housework. She wanted to make Hansel have fat before she ate him. A few weeks later, the witch thought it was about time to eat Hansel. She told Gretel to light the oven. "I don't know how," Gretel lied. Foolish child. "I'll do it," the witch said angrily. When she ran into the oven and lit up the fire, Gretel pushed her into the fire. She let Hansel out and took the witch's treasure. The woodcutter was glad to see his children again. He told them their stepmother had died. They had the witch's treasure and lived happily even after. 続いてハーメルンの笛吹きを読んでいきます。Long ago, there was a small town called Hamelin. The town had a very big problem. It had hundreds of rats. The town's people tried everything to get rid of them. However, nothing ever worked. One day, a stranger came to the town. You may call me the Pied Piper. He said, I am good at catching rats, so I can help you. The people of the town were very happy to hear that. They promised to pay him well if he succeeded. The Pied Piper played his music pipe. Soon the rats in the town were attracted by the music. As the Pied Piper walked, all the rats followed him. He kept playing until he brought the rats into the river. Then all the rats drowned. The townspeople cheered when they found out. However, they did not pay the man as they promised. We are pleased with your work, but we are very poor, they said. We have no money to give you. The Pied Piper got very angry and left the town. A week later, the Pied Piper returned to Hamelin in secret. He played his pipe again. This time, he attracted the children of the town. The children followed the sound of the music. The Pied Piper led them far from the town. Then he sent a message to the townspeople. He said he would return the children, but he wanted to be paid twice his fee. The townspeople had no choice but to pay him. It's our fault for not keeping our promise, they said. It was an expensive lesson to learn. 次に私が好きなラプンツェルを読んでいきたいと思います。Long ago, there was a very poor couple. They couldn't afford food, so they took some vegetables from Dame Gazel's garden. Dame Gazel saw this and got angry. She punished the couple by taking their baby girl from them. She named her Rapunzel and kept her in a tall tower. The tower had no door and only one window at the top. Years passed, and Rapunzel grew up to be a lovely woman with long hair. One day, a prince was nearby and heard Rapunzel singing. He immediately fell in love with her. The prince couldn't find the tower's entrance. Then he hid because Dame Gazel was coming. She shouted, Rapunzel, let down your hair. Rapunzel's long hair fell from the window, and Dame Gazel used it to climb into the tower. After Dame Gazel left the princess called Rapunzel's name, she left her hair down. A few minutes later, the handsome prince was at her window. It was love at first sight. Later that evening, the prince found a ladder and helped Rapunzel escape. However, Rapunzel wasn't free for long. Dame Gazel called her. Dame Gazel was so angry that she cut off Rapunzel's hair. The prince tried stopping her, but fell into some bushes. This blinded him, and he couldn't see where Dame Gretel took Rapunzel. He spent many years searching for Rapunzel. He would give anything to hear her voice again. While searching the desert, he heard a familiar voice singing. He found Rapunzel. She was so happy that she cried. When some of her tears fell into the prince's eyes, he could finally see again. Later, they got married and lived happily ever after. の音楽隊を読みます。Once upon a time, there was a hard-working donkey. He worked dutifully and never complained. However, his master planned to get rid of him because he was getting older and weaker. The donkey decided to run away and became a musician in Bremen. Animals there enjoyed freedom and lived without owners. On his way to Bremen, he met a dog that told him, "My owner is going to shoot me because I am too old to hunt." The donkey encouraged him to escape and join his band, so they set off together. Shortly after, they met an old cat. The cat owner wanted to drown him because he was not fast enough to capture mice anymore. The cat also agreed to join the music group. Later on the farm, they met a rooster crowing at the top of his lungs. "I am singing my goodbye because tomorrow my owner will chop off my head and eat me," said the rooster. "Cheer up, use your beautiful voice to make music with us," the donkey suggested. That evening, they saw a group of lovers having a big meal in a house. To earn some food, they performed their music. The donkey played, the dog barked, the cat meowed, and the rooster crowed. The terrible noise scared the lovers, and they ran into the forest. The animals went inside the house, ate, and went to bed. Later that night, one of the lovers returned in the darkness. He mistook the cat's shining eyes for coals and reached for them to light his candle. Suddenly, all of the animals attacked. The cat scratched him, the donkey kicked him, the dog bit him, and the rooster clawed and chased him away. The lover told the other that a witch, the cat, cut him with long fingernails, and a man, the dog, stabbed him with a sharp knife. Then the master, the donkey, beat him with a club, and the devil, the rooster, screamed at him. The frightened birds dared not go back to the house again. The animals took over the house and lived happily ever after. 次に白焼目を読みたいと思います。Once upon a time, a queen died after giving birth to a baby girl. The baby was as white as snow, so she was named Snow White. A year later, the king married a woman who was beautiful but lacked goodness. Every day, the new queen would look in her mirror and ask, "Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all?" The mirror would always reply, "You, my queen, you, my queen." However, a Snow White One day, when the queen asked the miller her question, the miller replied, Snow White is the fairest of them all. This filled the queen with anger. The next day, the queen sent a servant to kill Snow White. Out of pity, he set her free instead. Snow White wandered the forest until she saw a little house. The house belonged to 7. I don't know how to say English. Dwarves. If I cook and do the housework, can I stay here? Snow White asked. The dwarves happily agreed. The evil queen soon discovered that Snow White was still alive. The queen dressed like an old peddler and went to the dwarf's home. Try a juicy apple, she told Snow White, not knowing the apple was filled with poison. Snow White bit into it, then she fell down dead. When the 7 dwarfs arrived home, they set eyes on the dead princess. Our poor Snow White, they cried. With great sorrow, they laid the princess in a glass coffin. As the dwarfs were mourning, our princess rode by. The dwarfs told the prince what happened, and he felt sorry for Snow White. The prince kissed her, making the pieces of poisoned apple fall from her lips. Snow White slowly began to wake. She's alive, cried the happy dwarfs. The prince soon married Snow White. All 7 dwarfs came to the wedding. And what happened to the awful queen? She was forced to leave and was never heard from again. 続いて赤ずきんちゃんを読もうと思います。Once upon a time, there was a little girl who lived in the woods with her mother. Her name was Little Red Riding Hood. One day, her mother said to her, Please take this basket of food to your grandmother. Go straight to her house and don't talk to strangers. I promise, said Little Red Riding Hood, and she set off down the path. After a few minutes, she saw a wolf. Where are you going, little girl? Asked the wolf. Little Red Riding Hood forgot all about her promise and said, I am going to Granny's house. The wolf quickly ran to Granny's house. He passed through the door and locked Granny in the basement. Then he put on Granny's pajamas, got into her bed and waited. A few minutes later, Little Red Riding Hood arrived. She was surprised that Granny looked so different. What big eyes you have, Granny, she said. The better to see you with, said the wolf. And what big teeth you have, the better to eat you with, shouted the wolf, and he jumped out of the bed to eat Little Red Riding Hood. The wolf chased Little Red Riding Hood around the bedroom. Help! Help! Cried Little Red Riding Hood. A hungry wolf is trying to eat me. A woodcutter heard Little Red Riding Hood and ran to the house. He chased the wolf away with his axe and led Granny out of the basement. Little Red Riding Hood gave her grandmother a big hug. I'm so sorry, Granny, she said. It was all on my fault. I told that bad wolf I was coming here. Now I've learned my lesson. I will never talk to strangers again. 半分まで読んでみました。いかがでしたでしょうか。 しいです。最後までご視聴いただきありがとうございました。もしよろしければチャンネル登録、高評価、コメント、リクエストお待ちしております。この動画を前半部分としてまた機会がありましたらこの後半の部分を動画にしてあげたいと思います。それではまた次の動画でお会いしましょう。バイチャー。